back with Third Degree, focusing on the Damelin Brits fiasco. With me now in studio, Dale Chaplin, who is Damelin's Group National Commercial Manager. You flew in from your honeymoon to be with us today, which does show that you take this very seriously. So congratulations for that. Let's look at it. It's a fiasco, this. Students were given, took a year to get certificates, and when they did, they're not accredited. And they were never given letters to sign it, to waive this.
Deborah, Damelin offers accredited higher education degrees, diplomas and certificates. We do also offer short programs. Now, our records show these students enrolled for the short programs. And short programs, it is not a requirement for these programs to be registered by the Department of Higher Education.
But the normal course in Damelin is you sign a form. We've seen a copy of that form that you signed to say that you're aware that this is not an accredited course.
Deborah, when students come and inquire about our programs, we're very specific that every single student, it will be clearly explained to them that this is a short course.
This didn't happen here.
Okay. The students were explained by we have our student advisors or our lecturers that explain it. I know there's various documentation.
Okay, but in this instance, they did not sign the document which explained and detailed this. They were not aware of it at all. Surely that's fraud.
It won't be fraud in the sense, Deborah, we did explain it to the students. It's on our website.
You weren't there.
I do understand.
They were not
that.
explained, and then they didn't get their certificates for a year. Clearly there's an issue here with Damelin Brits. It's your good name, the Damelin brand, that is being abused in Brits. These students did not sign a form saying that they understood that this was not an accredited course.
Deborah, when it comes to the Damelin Brits, and as you say, it is a trusted brand's reputation here, we will not allow it to be impacted like that. So when this was brought to our attention, we reacted immediately. We did a full investigation. There were processes not followed by the franchisee. And what we did do, prioritized it as management, ensured that our academic quality processes had been complied with, and then we were able to issue those certificates to the students.
So you're aware that that there were processes that were not followed by Damelin Brits?
There are processes. That's in order for the certificates to be issued. Every student that comes in, bear in mind this is a short course. It is not one of our degrees, diplomas that students enroll for. They've enrolled for a program. A short courses could be, these programs were over 12 weeks up to 24 weeks. It's a very short course. It is designed to meet the students' immediate training needs.
But the length of a course doesn't mean you can get an accredited course. It can be accredited in a number of different ways. So length of course does not indicate that it's not accredited. These students were not informed. In my book, that's fraud. They were being duped into handing over huge sums of money for a useless certificate in their eyes. Now, will they receive their money back?
First, I want to say they weren't misled. We did not mislead them in any way.
Look, I mean, we've spoken at length to them. I think we need to. And there is no documentation at Damelin Brits which they signed, that piece of paper which states that this is not an accredited course, and they signed that, and they signed that they understand. There is no record of students having signed it.
That is an additional process that we put in place.
It's a standard procedure that you seem to operate at all other Damelin colleges except Damelin Brits. So what I'm saying to you is that the procedure wasn't followed. These students were not aware the course was not accredited. And there is no documentation to indicate that they did sign it. So they're telling the truth. They did not know that this was not an accredited course.
We do not intend to go and try and mislead our students. We have it on all our documentation, whether it's on the website, where students can download and assess, is it a credit-bearing or non-credit-bearing program. Our short programs are all non-credit-bearing programs, and it's very specific. So even on the documentation they receive on a campus level, besides the fact sheet, there's numerous other documentation that states that. Our staffing, explain it clearly to them, because we are fully aware of the confusion.
Let's just stop here. I'm not interested in the overall procedure at Damelin, because obviously there is you've got a good name, and people come to your courses and do it. It broke down here. Let's just agree, it broke down in Damelin Brits. These students they did not go through the procedure you're outlining there. Damelin Brits has now been put under liquidation. There's financial issues there, clearly.
There are financial issues.
The woman in charge has disappeared and gone AWOL. So let's not try and pretend that everything was right there.
I think what we also need to put into context here is At Damelin Brits, there is a branch manager in place, so your daily operations are being handled. No student will be disadvantaged.
But these students have been disadvantaged. They paid money for something that was not what it seemed to be. So the question is simple then. Will you give them their money back?
As I said earlier, this is a franchise. Okay, we are the franchisor as Damelin. They are a separate legal entity.
Yes, but they pay you. They pay
to the franchisee.
Okay, so we're not even going to get into that. It's one and the same.
There will be a legal, obviously they will have to follow a legal process with that.
The kids don't.
Our focus is the certification. We have an academic responsibility to those students.
But your good name has been blemished through this process severely.
And that is why we
And my question, which you haven't yet answered, will they get their money back? Because that's what they want to know. I mean, they are very frustrated, very angry. They either want a legitimate qualification or their money back. And I think that's reasonable.
Deborah, I think you need these short programs they've enrolled for. It was very specific you enrolled for a short program. Now, short programs, and they are excluded from the accreditation process by the Department of Education and Training themselves.
There's no point in us going down that road again. Damelin Brits obfuscated the issue and they duped them into paying money. These students were duped. And the question is simple, yes or no? Are they going to get their money back? You seem reluctant to say that you want to put the matter right.
They're going to have to follow that up with the franchisee, which is...
No, but you see, when it suits you, you dismiss it. And then when it doesn't, you're part of it. It's your name.
When it came to the certification and the students came to us about the certificates not being issued, we responded immediately to that.
Exactly. So why can't you respond by insisting that they get money back?
The money will have to be claimed from the franchisee, which is Naledi Katsiso Pty Limited.
So they can claim their money back?
They will have to follow a legal course with
And they can
Naledi.
Claim their money back?
That is up to them to follow the legal process. We are here to support them from the academic side. Any student at Damelin Brits, training will be completed. We do have teach-out plans in place, so no student needs to be concerned that what is going to happen to them.
I think they
we are fully responsible
concerned, and I don't know if they're going to be very satisfied. You see, you're either fully responsible or you're not. We're going to have to leave it there. Unfortunately, time is up. That's all we have time for. But if students do have concerns, they can get hold of Damelin on 0860 104015. That number again, 0860 104015, and details of their website also on your screen. Now, we always like to hear from you. You can fax us on 011 880 8883 or email us on thirddegree@etv.co.za. And you can engage with us on Facebook or Twitter. Until next week then, goodbye.